This is Dave Pellegrinelli at TitleSearch.com. It's important to remember when running a title search that you should consider alternate spellings and misspellings of names. Name misspellings on documents can cause you to not locate a document or a lien or a mortgage that affects a property title, but that may still affect the title. Minor misspellings, typos, or even alternate spellings do not necessarily make the document invalid against the property. For example, a name of Gene versus Eugene would mean the same person, but if you're only looking for one of the names in the name index, you may not find other documents that are there. Same thing with Sean or Sean with different spellings, or even last names like Johnson with an H or Johnson spelled Jonson. There's even additional alternate spellings that other languages may use. For example, Johnson with an en. Different states have statutes as far as what misspellings do not make a document error fatal against the property. Any type of document that reflects a property ownership, even UCCs or liens or subpoenas, could be valid against a person even though there's a typographical error or name misspelling. The idea of a title search is to check everything, pull in any information you can from the records, and then decide later which ones affect the property or not. The idea of title searching prior to the abstracting phase is to search for every possible document, cast a wide net and pull everything in, and then look to see which ones may affect the property. And if there's a question, you leave it on the search and allow the person who's making a decision about how it affects the property to filter it out later. Errors which are not seriously misleading are generally not fatal against the property. You're better safe than sorry. Similar filings can give you notice to search for more. If you see something that might be a similar name on one document, run that alternate spelling through the index again. And then when you're an experienced searcher and have seen a lot of different records and indexes, you'll get an idea of what alternate spellings of names or nicknames can exist. One example is different non-English names may have nicknames you're not aware of. In other languages, there may be nicknames for lengthy names, which as a native English speaker you may not be aware of. There's a legal strategy or a legal philosophy called idem sonans, which is a Latin term meaning sounds the same. And most states use a version of that as far as what the standards are, whether they're title standards or even search standards in court records, to determine what is misleading and what is a similar sounding name. Some states are different. They may have different characterizations of what is similar and what is not. In some states, whether it's Johnson or Johnson without an H, it doesn't matter. If it's not spelled exactly the same, it doesn't affect the property. That's pretty rare. In most cases, as long as it sounds the same or is similar in nature, it's not going to be excluded from affecting the property. Some index systems take this into account, and they may offer alternatives when you run the name. If you're using an electronic index system or an online system, use the base root of a name. Don't use the full name, just use the first three letters, the first couple letters to try to catch everything if possible. Similar sounding names, typographical errors, alternate spellings are a very important aspect of searching to understand, so you don't miss documents and potentially have an error on the title search.